Yeah, but they made
good.
fun of the Iranian in the flannel too.
No,
Dude.
the flannel.
Yeah, he had a flannel on. But besides that, so I mean, moving beyond that, I wanted to talk about, since like we talked about how the game industry is sort of in a decline recently. I've been watching a lot of television recently. Obviously, all these streaming services that we've talked about before, and The Mandalorian obviously just finished, and another show on HBO called His Dark Materials just is
I highly
debuting.
suggest you guys watch both of those.
Inform me on that. What is that about?
Do you remember watching the Golden Compass movie that in 2008?
I do.
Like it was really bad. And
Yeah.
it
This is
kind of
like
killed.
a series that is
but it's
so much better.
Yes, this is a television series based on those same books, and
Interesting.
it has
It's
some
so
of the.
good,
It has Daphne Keane from Logan, the girl from Logan.
Is it a continuation or a full?
It's just like a full reset, and
Okay.
it's more about the novels, but there's still a few complaints there. But basically, it's a really good show. It has like amazing CGI. It's on HBO, and so they obviously pull out a bag for it. But I kind of been thinking lately about how this year specifically we've seen sort of the decline of video games. More so than in some other years. I mean, definitely because of production during the pandemic. But in terms of television, it's been really, really good this year. I mean, if we look back to the start of this year.
I'm not gonna lie. The TV and the streaming service industry, they owe Netflix their life.
What do you mean?
Netflix, if it wasn't because of Netflix, we wouldn't have all these new streaming services.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I would
one person does it, everyone else is gonna come.
all these
make a new market out of it.
original series, all these new originals. I feel like it really bumped up because of Netflix.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's no different than NBC having an exclusive show just on their channel or anything else. It's like Friends was only on NBC. They're basically recreating cable television, and Netflix did kind of refresh it and start it with all these. Netflix had Stranger Things and Orange is the New Black and all that stuff. And Netflix actually
13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, a million stuff like that. And now that all these new services are coming out, they're all doing the same thing. And they're all really successful, I will say.
Dude, I will say Netflix has some of the best quality shows I've ever seen. I feel like when I watch something on Netflix, it just looks so much better.
They do
because
really good with their graphics as well. I don't know if you guys have seen Midnight Sky. It's new on Netflix.
I saw the graphic in the trailer for it. I haven't watched it.
It's so good. I thought Star Trek was pretty good in how they did that whole outer space type situation. They did a phenomenal job with me.
because Netflix shows it's a show, but you also kind of feel like it's a movie at the same time. It's got a way higher production to it.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch Haunting of Hill House on Netflix?
I
loved that show. And same with Queen's Gambit that just came out.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
my
my
mom
parents
said
have been
she
forcing me
loves
to
that.
watch it.
Forcing you, it's so good.
I haven't been able to get into
show.
it. I have to say that I think the best television consistently, the best television, at least in my top 5, almost all of them come from HBO.
Yeah, probably.
HBO just puts out some of the best television that's ever existed.
I feel HBO has a lot of years of experience over Netflix.
HBO also has all of Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
They did.
So that
Yeah,
just all blends in.
So yeah, HBO Max has been really successful, even though I think it's the newest compared to a lot of the really bigger streaming services. And I mean, in my top 5 shows of all time are seasons 1 through 6 of Game of Thrones and Westworld and His Dark Materials. 3 of those are HBO. You know, and it's just I've just noticed that
Raised by Wolves.
I will.
That's really good.
It was
And
not
they
a-
just
that was
dropped
a-
the
that was
they just
the-
dropped the new Wonder Woman today.
I started watching.
Everybody
shoot.
said, some people said it was really good. They seen it all the way through. They said the
I
graphics
watched.
and everything was
I
really good. on
actually
there.
stopped watching it to come here, and
Dude.
it was so far really good.
I can't stand
Jack had to throw that
DC.
in there.
DC, actual TV productions, I can't stand it. They're so bad. It annoys me that DC can't do anything.
You talking about Arrow and Flash and
anything.
Titans was pretty
ruin
good on
man.
HBO. Have you seen Titans
that?
on HBO?
That kind of fell out though, didn't it?
Yeah,
Titans.
they stopped.
It was
They're
actually
big-
on
they're
DC
coming-
Universe.
Yeah, the beginning season
an
was actually
exclusive,
pretty
too.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting
I heard-
now because DC Universe is a DC streaming service, but there's also HBO Max, which is the same company.
And they got it all.
They're
on there.
slowly phasing out DC Universe to go to HBO Max.
I mean, that's the best.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Adam, your point of how TV has been on the up and up, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, especially because you're talking about DC, Arrow and Flash, like I just said, they had a big kind of MCU type crossover thing, which
Yeah.
actually I stopped watching those shows by the time they came out.
I did too. I feel like I stopped watching Arrow after the 2nd or 3rd season.
Yeah.
Once
I went a
these
little bit
shows-
longer,
once
but
these shows get stretched out and it's just
It's just very procedural, like CW action show, you know?
Right.
Yeah, CW
exactly.
sucks.
I mean, it's
Exactly.
like, I think like that kind of show, although it is DC, kind of started with like Supernatural, where with a
Yeah,
very,
definitely, I
very,
agree.
with very simple like television plot of like an A, B, and C plot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, when DC came to make these television shows, they sort of just copied that
Definitely
same
a lot of
formula.
inspiration.
And
Yeah.
it just keeps going over and over season after season. But and Supernatural ended after 15 just recently. But also it's interesting that
After 15 what?
seasons.
Yeah,
They just
it's
dropped
been
the new
going for
ones
a
on Netflix.
while.
Dude, when I stopped watching, it was like on 8.
Yeah.
Or like
And they did
9.
have to stop. They'd have to change the ending because of shooting restrictions because of the pandemic. But it's interesting that like we've seen shows improve so much. Like The Mandalorian's been great, and His Dark Materials has been great, and those have been filming during quarantine.
Right.
And it's I don't exactly know like the specifics of what's going on set and how like and the steps they're taking. Obviously they're being safe, but it's kind of amazing that they're able to produce such high quality things. And it doesn't seem like anything's getting, you know, cut or restricted. You know, the story seems
I feel like Disney is a lot more serious than CW, and especially after you've been shooting a like TV show for 15 seasons, everybody's just ready to pack up and like stop.
100%.
Yeah, but also if you're shooting for 15 seasons, you want a good ending.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless
so-
you're burnt
so it's
out,
a-
which I would be.
and the
It's a
ending
toss-up.
the ending did feel kind of like strained, like kind
Really?
of quick. But besides that, did you guys see the story about Tom Cruise?
I
how
was about
he-
to bring that up.
How he
Yeah.
on set of one of the Mission Impossible movies that he's filming right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in the UK, but he went off on a few crew members on set because they weren't social distancing. And basically it was recorded on audio, and it was this huge like yelling rant that he gave to these two workers about, you know, staying, you know, away from each other and why it's important that they follow all the rules because
The whole world's looking at us to be an example of shooting in COVID, and he was very determined and serious about
I
it.
mean, when you playing with my money.
No.
I'm
I'm definitely on his side
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah, I mean, yeah, if I was in that position, I definitely would have said pretty much all the same things that he did,
And it's
just
not-
maybe less angry.
Oh no, I probably would have said a couple hurtful
I don't.
words.
Y'all can listen to the clip later, but he was mad. It was like a 3-minute clip of him just yelling.
I can't imagine being
blame
those two crew members just standing there.
shaking.
How old is he now?
He's in his 50s.
I'm sure. I think he's.
Dude,
in
there's
his
no
50s.
way he's still
Does he-
doing backflips. And
Yeah, he
stuff.
does his own stunts.
He
He's,
is.
he's agile though. You know, he's a little short dude. He's got some.
How
And
tall
he's
is he?
like in
5'4".
the.
Shut up.
He's 5'4".
No
Yeah,
way.
he's-
Tom Cruise is tiny,
He's
dude.
a short king.
Tom Cruise.
Is 5'4".
That nigga always looks tall on TV.
100%.
He
I
always
am not.
look
Look
big
it
on
up. I
TV.
guarantee it.
But that nigga short as fuck.
But
put it in my back pocket.
But guys, you don't have to worry about him getting old or like slow because he's
he's a Scientologist.
He's
He'll
in the
live
sixth
forever,
level. He's in
okay?
the sixth level. He's about to get beamed up to space, you know, and like taken to a far off planet with L. Ron Hubbard.
And he write all his sci-fi novels. But
He's 5'7", man. Shut up.
I thought he was 5'4".
No, he's not 5'4".
I mean, still short.
Still short.
I mean, 1 inch below average.
Yeah.
So
But it's not that those two guys he was yelling at weren't just social distancing. They were faking it because they were doing a thing with a camera where they were tricking it to make it seem like it was like some camera trick. They were making it seem like they were 6 feet apart, but they weren't. So it's not like they just weren't doing it. They were faking it to seem like they were. That's what really ticked him off.
what?
Interesting.
Are they like a
I thought
couple?
No, they just were too lazy to actually social distance.
Yeah, I thought they were just like standing around watching the monitors while like during filming and stuff like that, and they weren't paying attention at all.
And
but,
they might have been, but to prove that they were social distancing, I think
Hey.
they altered.
As a non-believer in COVID would say, if masks work, why do we have to social distance? And if social distancing works, why do we have to wear masks?
It's a good question.
Give me some love.
My stepdad almost had to go into work today because the
Really?
guy who was supposed to be on the floor tonight got tested positive.
Oh my God.
But fortunately, he did not have to leave
Yeah.
to work 13
crap.
hours. But
God bless.